This morning, a friend of mine who happens to be a Barcelona fan asked me a question that if I am a Manchester United manager and I'm given the budget to sign either Michael Olise or Yamal, who am I going to sign for Manchester United as a winger? And I told him rightly that I will sign Olise ahead of Yamal. Then he was like, it's because I don't like Barcelona. That is why I will option for Olise ahead of Yamal. Here is what I told him. I told him clearly that the reasons why I will sign Olise ahead of Yamal is because Olise has proven himself in the Premier League. And Manchester United play in the Premier League. Going for Yamal is more like a gamble to me. I will consider it as a gamble for Manchester United because he does not have that Premier League experience. And I believe that any player who has succeeded in the Premier League will certainly succeed in any other league in the world. Because when you look at the Premier League, the intensity of the Premier League, you will know that any player that succeeded in the Premier League will definitely succeed in other leagues. Olise was actually doing what he's actually doing at Bayern Munich now. He was doing them when he was at Crystal Palace. I am not surprised by what the numbers of goals and assists that Olise is having in the Bundesliga because these numbers, he had them in English Premier League. Despite the fact that he was playing for a mid-table club, Crystal Palace, a club that is not challenging for major titles, he was still giving these assists, providing goals. And the guy is actually generally is actually good. That is why I'm not surprised by what he's currently doing at Bayern Munich. Also, I am not disputing the fact that Yamal is not a very good player. Both of them are actually very good players. They are technically gifted. They are talented. Nobody is disputing that fact. But for the fact that Olise has proven himself in the Premier League, that is why I will option for Olise ahead of Yamal. I will any day, anytime I will option for Olise ahead of Yamal. Yamal, when you watch him play in La Liga, the guy is playing perfectly well. Even playing opposition teams from other leagues in the Champions League, he's also playing. But anytime I observe, anytime he plays a Premier League team, he's struggling. He's struggling when he plays a Premier League team. When you look at the Premier League teams he has played this season in the Champions League, you will see that the guy is struggling with the intensity of the Premier League. Even him, he confirmed it, that sometimes you wonder how players that are technically gifted, players with technicality, how they survive in the Premier League. He said he wonder how they do it in the Premier League. You look at the intensity in the Premier League, 1 minute you are defending, the next minute you are attacking. 1 minute you are attacking, the next minute you are defending. That is how the Premier League is very fast and the intensity is always high. So I watch him this season play against Premier League teams. I see how he struggle. So that is why when he asked me the question, I told him wholeheartedly that I will option for Olise ahead of Yamal. Although he was saying that because I'm a Manchester United fan and I hate Barcelona, that is why I'm saying all of those things. But that is not actually the fact. That's not the reasons I will option for Olise ahead of him. Just like the reasons I've mentioned so far, that is why I will option for Olise ahead of Yamal.